a life lost, and that too this young, that too so talented, so precious. Every life is very precious. So it did come as a shock to me. And now when I have processed the news, it is coming forth. And as you must have seen, that so many people have taken up to social media to express how important mental health, mental well-being has become. That there is slightly more pressure on people who are facing the camera or who are in front of the camera, because their life kind of becomes very public, and everybody thinks that they have a right to comment, to troll, to post anything even without thinking once about whatever they are thinking, and which is, it's hurtful. So I'm so thankful to Deepika that she started this movement. However, we need to move. We all need to participate in creating awareness. So whether it is media, whether it is an actor, or whether it is an organization, we definitely need to keep going till the time that it becomes a normal thing to say that, yeah, I went to a counselor today because I wasn't feeling so good.
Everyone has been devastated today with the news of Sushant Singh Rajput's suicide, and his demise again brings forth the conversation of mental health awareness. I'm going to be conversing with Dr. Aditi Govitrikar, who is an actor, model. She's a counselor, she's a psychologist who's been helping people in maintaining their mental health. Aditi, thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Rudrani, for having me.
Like I said, today has been a really grave day. It's really sad. We've lost such a great talent. But when you read about it, as a psychologist, how did you react to it? And I saw your message on it as well. And what is the first thought that came to you?
Well, I think when I first heard the news, it came as a like, is this real? I couldn't believe my ears and eyes, what I was reading, I was hearing. So the reaction was pretty much like a colleague or a human being to a life lost, and that to this young, that to so talented, so precious. Every life is very precious. So it did come as a shock to me. And now when I have processed the news, it is coming forth. And as you must have seen, that so many people have taken up to social media to express how important mental health, mental well-being has become. And we've not been looking at it as much in this lockdown period. A lot of people have realized that it is becoming more and more important to assess, analyze, and look after your mental well-being, be it your emotions, how you're feeling, how your behavior is. So I think I dealt with the news with utter shock. It was, I still cannot believe he is not with us anymore.
And like you said, right, that it's so important to be taking care of mental health, and you've been advising very closely to a lot of people from the industry. Of course, everybody goes through these issues of mental health. It is not particular to one industry, but because of what is happening today, focusing on a lot of people that you've helped from the industry as well, who are close friends of yours. What are the few things that you noticed that especially actors or struggling actors or people who are trying to make it in the industry, in the glamour world, sort of face, and what are the difficult situations that they go through that you try to help them with?
So as you rightly put it, Rudrani, that this is, mental health is something that everybody needs to look at, not only actors, or not just Bollywood people. Having said that, there is slightly more pressure on people who are facing the camera or who are in front of the camera, because their life kind of becomes very public, and everybody thinks that they have a right to comment, to troll, to post anything even without thinking once about whatever they are thinking, and which is, it's hurtful and it's painful. So that aspect puts a lot of pressure on celebrities to be a certain way. And it's becoming more and more difficult, because privacy, there is no such thing as privacy anymore, because like I said, that everybody thinks that they have a right to photograph, to comment on a celebrity's life. So this added pressure takes a toll on mental health and mental well-being. Secondly, given the situation right now, which is of lockdown, a lot of actors are dependent, because there is no salary, right? If you work, you get paid, and being locked being under lockdown for 3 months has caused a lot of stress in many people's minds, for many people, because sustaining themselves is becoming more and more challenging.
Like I said, you've been helping a lot of people, industrialists from the industry, a lot of well-known actors. What is one basic thing that you tell them when they come up with their issues? But what are few things that you advise to them to sort of take care of their mental health, or to sort of maintain their mental balance? What are the few things that you can suggest?
One very important thing is to acknowledge your feelings and your emotions, because a lot of times we sweep it under the carpet and we don't talk about it, because of, there are different barriers that, oh, okay, how can I be vulnerable about how I'm feeling? How would the other person take it? Will I be judged? And these kind of things, the thoughts do come up in anybody's minds, where again, actors, since you're specifically asking me about Bollywood per se, or television actors, or performing arts, so to say, it is all about it. It becomes about insecurity, about work, about how you're being perceived. A lot of times, self-worth is dependent on how you're perceived, and that is something that I stress upon to the people, that your self-worth is not only related to your work. Your identity is not only your work, it is way beyond, it is much more. And the way to look at, if you're feeling low, if you're feeling anxious, or if you're feeling depressed, then you have to reach out, you have to talk to somebody. And if you don't feel the need or the urge to do so, which can happen, you might not feel that, okay, I don't feel like talking to anybody, so then just write it down. Journaling can be a big help. Listen to your favorite positive music. Watch a video which will bring a smile to your face, so that you can buy that time when you hit bottom, like really the pit of the bottom of the pit. You can do that. You can take various steps. Speak to somebody who you can connect with, be it your family member, be it your friends that you're close to, or even a counselor, because counselors are there to provide you that safe space. And at times, speaking to a stranger can help, because over there, since we are trained in a certain way to deal with situations and to deal with emotions, a, there is no judgment. B, whatever is said to, for example, me as a counselor stays with me. I will never ever discuss it with anybody, no matter what. So this kind of a space is something that one needs to find for themselves, because everybody goes through ups and downs. Some people stay over there for a longer time. And if you know that you are the kind who has that kind of propensity to stay in sadness or feeling low for a long time, then you need to take steps to get out of it. You have to pull yourself out of it.
When you started off, and then now till now in your journey, how did you sort of battle your own issues, and which, especially because you are aware of it, and you have the knowledge to deal with it, I'm sure you can recognize those traits if there were any.
Yeah, so being an actor, there have been phases where there is no work, where there is, you're wondering what is it that you're doing or not doing right, or what is it that you're doing wrong, that nobody is calling you. You're attending, you're meeting people, you're doing auditions. Yet there is a phase in, I think, every actor's life where you are, so to say, struggling. Uh, and that can really take a toll, and it did take a toll on my life, on me as well, because I was also going through personal issues. So it was a very dark space for me, and it is not an easy uh, uh, way to come out of it. But the only thing is that there is always light at the end of the tunnel. So, and it is up to you, and only you, to take steps so that you can come out. There will be people who will be there to help you. You just need to reach out. You have to speak about it. You have to take steps so that you come out of it. So I did a few things, like I went for Vipassana meditation, which really helped me in getting to know who I was, to become aware of who I was, to get in touch with my own emotions and my feelings. Because, like I said, that we have this habit of chalta hai, theek ho jayega. You just sleep sleep and tomorrow morning everything will be fine. But no, it is not fine. You stay up the whole night wondering when the sun is going to rise because the darkness becomes too much. So Vipassana is one thing that I did, and like I said, that then I started working on myself. One of the way of working was also educating myself, so that I said to myself that if work is not coming from this field, what else can I offer to the world wherein I can also help others, because I have been in that dark space and I know how difficult it can be, given the insecurity in our field that everything is connected to success of one film or being offered a particular role. You've auditioned and you've gotten a yes only to be cancelled last minute. These kind of things happen in almost all the actors' life. So then that's why I chose that, okay, if I have been there and if I have successfully come out of it, wherein I can comfortably say today that yes, I am completely aware of who I am, what I am, and I know that I can definitely help somebody else get out of that dark spot. That is a challenge, that is a purpose that I took upon myself. And then I realized that yes, this is something that one can do and one can definitely help somebody else who is in the dark spot.
That's wonderful. Um, Aditi, today is the time when, and for the past few years actually, we've seen a lot of actors, whether it's Deepika, whether it's Shaheen Bhatt, you have a lot of other actors who've come out and spoken about their depression, and it has highlighted mental health awareness again
Yes.
because of the the kind of the stigma around depression. We thought is depleting slowly, but my point is, do you still see that stigma around when you have actors from the industry coming and talking to you about it, the hesitancy? And do you think it's getting better, or do you really think there's a lot of work there still?
Well, it is getting better, but we are not quite there where it has become normalized. So we definitely need to normalize mental health and mental well-being and mental illnesses, because if your hand is fractured, you go to an orthopedician. But if your mind is fractured, why do we hesitate from acknowledging that you need help, that you need to go to a doctor so that you can repair your mind? So that is one thing which is still not, it's still not okay with a lot of people. They are not very keen on admitting that they are coming for counseling or for therapy, which is okay, but at least they are coming. So I'm looking at the silver lining to this whole thing. But we definitely need to speak a lot more. We definitely need to create a lot more awareness where mental health and mental illness is concerned, because it is an epidemic. Whether we accept it, whether we can turn a blind eye or not, the fact remains that it is an epidemic today.
And of course, we, because the harmful effects are there for all to see, right? Like we see, we keep hearing about so many suicides, and and only then the conversation starts again. But I think no one's, it's important that we start taking that step further,
Yeah.
and talk more about it, and probably initially create awareness.
Yes, absolutely. And I
um
think media will play a big role in this, Rudrani, because it cannot be just one person talking about it or just one, an organization taking it upon themselves. So I'm so thankful to Deepika that she started this movement. However, we need to move. We all need to participate in creating awareness. So whether it is media, whether it is an actor, or whether it is an organization, we definitely need to keep going till the time that it becomes a normal thing to say that, yeah, I went to a counselor today because I wasn't feeling so good. We don't have that yet.
Aditi, I'll end it by asking you. You in the beginning you spoke about how, especially in the lockdown, it can get so frustrating, and for everybody out there, um, you know, who's really having a bad day, who's struggling to reach out to somebody. What would you like to tell to all the people who probably listen to this conversation? A few things that they can do. How can they really take care of their mental health?
First of all, I think what I would like to tell everybody who is watching this is that you are precious. You are unique. There is nobody else in the world as precious as you are. And know that you have impacted lives. Whether at this moment you find it difficult to see or not, if you are feeling dark and if you're feeling low, look at the number of the people that you've impacted. And there is always family, there are always friends who love you no matter what. So always keep that in mind. Take care of yourself. You are precious.
Thank you so much, Aditi. It was wonderful
Thank you,
talking to
Rudrani.
you.
Thank you.
Really much needed conversation, and I really hope that, like you said, the stigma around depression and mental health illnesses deplete, they go away, and we really need to take care of ourselves at all times. Thank you so much. Thank you once
Thank
again.
you. Thank you, Rudrani.
Watch E-Town News Monday to Friday at 9:30 p.m. only on Zoom.